Hello students, good morning. I am Bhawna, teacher of Social Studies, class 6. Today we are going to study chapter number 2 of Social and Political Life, that is Diversity and Discrimination. You can see on your screens the LR, Social Science 1. You can even see the notebook of Civics, single line notebook you have to maintain of Civics. On your screens you can see that. Now, chapter number 2, Diversity and Discrimination. We have already studied about diversity in the last chapter. In this chapter, we are going to study about discrimination. What is discrimination? There are many things that make us what we are, how we live, the languages we speak, what we eat, where, the games we play, and the things we celebrate. All of these are influenced both by the geography and history of the place where we live. Sometimes, when we meet people who are very different from us, we may find them strange and unfamiliar. At times, we will not understand or know the reasons why they are different from us. People also form certain attitudes and opinions about others who are not like them. And this is what discrimination. That means difference. Difference in everything. Difference in outer appearance, difference in religions, difference in languages, difference in many things. So this is discrimination. This only we are going to study in this chapter. Now many a times you see the people who are different from you in many ways, and you also think that why they are different. So definition of discrimination. What is discrimination is defined as distinguishing differences between things or treating someone as inferior based on their race, sex, national origin, age, or other characteristics. An example of discrimination is when a company refuses to hire women because they are women. This is the definition of discrimination. Definition of prejudice. Now we are going to study this topic further. So first we should know what is prejudice. Prejudice means preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. They may decide they do not like them because of their skin color, that is racial prejudice, religion, religious prejudice, or nationality. Such prejudice can lead to discrimination, hatred, or even war. So this is the definition of prejudice. Next is definition of stereotypes. What is stereotypes? A stereotype is a mistaken idea or belief many people have about a thing or a group that is based upon how they look on the outside, which may be untrue or only partly true. Stereotyping people is a type of prejudice because what is on the outside is a small part of who a person is. Now we are going to study up these topics. Prejudice. Now, as I have already told you the definition, now prejudice means to judge other people negatively or see them as inferior. When we think that only one particular way is the best and right way to do things, we often end up not respecting others who may prefer to do things differently. For example, now we are going to study this with an example. If we think English is the best language and other languages are not important, we are judging these other languages negatively. As a result, we might not respect people who speak languages other than English. I have already told you that prejudice, that means to judge people negatively or think them inferior. Now, creating stereotypes. How can we create a stereotype? All of us are familiar with gender differences, that means male and female. What does it mean to be a boy or girl? Many of you would say we are born as boys and girls. It is a given. What is there to think about? Now, there are many things which we say about the boys, like for example, they don't cry. Now, if we say this statement, that means who don't cry? Especially the boys don't cry. Now, when we say this statement, we are saying about a boy. So, even if a boy feels to cry, he stops himself from doing so because he believes that crying is a sign of weakness. So, this is a symbol for the boys. Many a times we say they are physically strong. So, what we are saying? We are saying for boys, they are good at sport. So, we are saying for boys, they are rowdy. Again, we are saying for boys. So, many things. Again, we are coming to the stereotypes. That is a gender stereotypes. We are talking about gender stereotypes. Like they are soft spoken and gentle. We are talking about girls. Girls should not go out late night. We are talking about girls. All this is gender stereotypes. Now you can see on your screens the examples of this only. Now, next is when we fix people into one image, we create a stereotype. When people say that those who belong to a particular country, religion, sex, race, or economic background are stingy, lazy, criminal, or dumb, They are using stereotypes. Stereotypes stop us from looking at each person as a unique individual with her own special qualities and skills that are different from others. They fit large number of people into only one pattern of or type of image. Stereotypes affect all of us. They prevent us from doing certain things that we might otherwise be good at. Inequality and discrimination. Discrimination happens when people act on their prejudice or stereotypes. If you do something to put other people down, you stop them in taking part in certain activities and taking up jobs, or stop them from living in certain neighborhoods, prevent them from taking water from the same well or hand pump, or not allow them to drink tea in the same cups or glasses as others. You are discriminating against them. Discrimination can take place because of several reasons. You probably recall from the previous chapter that Sameer Ek and Sameer Do were different from each other in many ways. This is an example of diversity. They belong to different religions. Groups of people who may speak a certain language, follow a particular religion, live in specific regions may be discriminated against as their customs or practices may be seen as inferior. Another difference between the two Sameers was their economic backgrounds. Sameer Do was poor and Sameer Ek was rich. So this is also a discrimination of inequality, you can see. Now another thing you can see on a screen is you can see the three girls they are studying. Now we will see a common statement. A common stereotype about Muslims is that they are not interested in educating girls and therefore do not send girls to school. Therefore, studies have now shown that poverty amongst Muslims is an important reason why Muslim girls do not attend school or drop out from school after a few years. But now government is making a certain efforts for these also, so that the discrimination can be stopped. People are engaged in different kinds of work like teaching, carpentry, pottery, weaving, fishing, farming, etc. to earn a livelihood. Certain kinds of work are valued more than others. Activities like cleaning, washing, cutting hair, picking garbage are seen as tasks that are of less value, and people who do this work are seen as dirty or impure. This belief is an important aspect of the caste system. Now, in this, they are being placed at a certain lower ladder, and the persons who do good job like teaching and all, they are being placed at the upper ladder. So this is a discrimination on the caste system. Now, Dalit is a term that people belonging to So are called lower caste used to address themselves have been broken. This word, according to Dalits, show how social prejudice and discrimination have broken the Dalit people. The government refers to this group of people as scheduled caste, SC. Caste rules were set which did not allow the so-called untouchables to take on work other than what they were meant to do. For example, some groups were forced to pick garbage and remove dead animals from the village, but they were not allowed to enter the homes of the upper caste or take water from the village well or even enter temples. Their children could not sit next to children of other caste in school. This did not give the so-called untouchables the same right as they enjoyed. That means untouchables were treated very badly in that time. This was a discrimination between them. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar was one of the greatest leaders of India, shares his first experience of caste-based discrimination which took place in 1901 when he was just 9 years old. He had gone with his brothers and cousins to meet his father in Koregaon, which is now in Maharashtra. And there he was not treated in a very good manner, and he was treated in a very bad way because of discrimination. And then Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar took steps for eradicating this discrimination. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar 1891 to 1956 is considered the father of the Indian Constitution and is also the best known leader of the Dalits. Dr. Ambedkar fought for the rights of the Dalit community. He was born into the Mahar caste, which was considered untouchable. The Mahars were poor, owned no land, and children born to them also had to do the work their parents did. They lived in spaces outside the main village and were not allowed into the village. Dr. Ambedkar was the first person from his caste who completed college education and went to England to become a lawyer. He encouraged Dalits to send their children to school and college. He also urged Dalits to take on different kinds of government jobs in order to move out of the caste system. He led many efforts of Dalit to gain entry into temples. Later in life, he converted to Buddhism in his search for a religion that treated all members equally. Imagine how difficult it would be if people could not move easily from one place to other. How insulting and hurtful it is to have people move away, refuse to touch you or allow you to drink water from the same source as they do. So this type of discrimination, stereotypes and prejudice was there in the later periods. Our next topic is striving for equality. The struggle for freedom from British rule also included within it the struggle of large groups of people who not only fought against the British but also fought to be treated more equally. Dalits, women, tribals, and peasants fought against the inequalities they experienced in their lives. When India became a nation in 1947, our leaders too were concerned about the different kinds of inequalities that existed. Those who wrote the Constitution of India, a document that laid out the rules by which the nation would function. And we are aware of the ways of which as a crime has been legally abolished by law. Now, the writers of the Constitution also said that respect for diversity was a significant element in ensuring equality. You can see in the picture, women are at rally and they are demanding their rights. And they felt that people must have the freedom to follow the religion, speak the language, celebrate their festivals, and express themselves freely. They said that no one language, religion, or festival should become compulsory for all to follow. They said that the government must treat all religions equally. Now you can see a picture, some of the members who wrote the Constitution of India. Now they have written the Constitution of India just only because that time discrimination, diversity, stereotypes and prejudice was there and everyone were very fed up of all these things. So these leaders set out a vision and the goals in the Constitution to ensure that all the people of India were considered equal. Inequality is seen as a crime and has been legally abolished by law. India became a secular country where people of different religions and faiths have the freedom to practice and follow their religion without any fear of discrimination. This is seen as an important element of a unity that we all live together and respect one another. Though these ideals are enshrined in our constitution, this chapter points out that inequalities exist even today. Equality is a value that we have to keep striving for and not something which will happen automatically. People's struggles and positive actions by the government are necessary to make this a reality for all Indians. Now you can see the preamble of Constitution. You can see what it is written. We the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens. In this preamble it was written, we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity and to promote among them all, fraternity assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution. So this is the Constitution of India. Now on your screens you can see again the picture of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. And do you know K.R. Narayan was the 10th President of India. He was the first Dalit to have become the President of India. He belonged to a poor family. You can see a mind map on your screens, and in this mind map you can see the definition of prejudice, stereotypes. You can see difference and prejudice, striving for equality, inequality and discrimination. Now in the next page you can see the creating stereotypes. You can see stereotype, prejudice, difference between stereotype and prejudice. On the next page you can see discrimination and inequality, types of discrimination, direct discrimination, indirect discrimination, untouchability, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, our struggle for freedom and equality, striving for equality, test your vocabulary, and here the chapter finishes. Hope you all have understood this chapter. Read this chapter once again. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you for watching the video.